customer? We bet you do, because as a financial institution you are legally forced to do so. We like to call this KYC, or Know Your Customer. But do you know how many other financial institutions know your customer exactly the same way that you do? Well, yes, most probably many. Getting to know your customer is actually a time-consuming and resource-intensive process. For each new customer, you might ask proof of identity, addresses, certificates of incorporation, memorandums of association, origin of funds. Actually, in standard KYC handling, more than 60 different data points could be required by a financial institution. But not all customers are the same, and regulations or requirements in different countries referring to different types of customers might also not be the same. We therefore witness a duplication of tasks and a redundancy of controls, all leading to increased costs and a reduction of your business reactivity. Now put yourself in the position of the customer. He will most probably not only work with one single financial institution. So for each one of them, he will have to supply the similar amount of data, if not the same, and each financial institution will have to go through the same KYC process. Working in a cross-border environment out of Luxembourg creates further complexity and cost. From an industry perspective, the whole process is clearly inefficient. A recent Deloitte study pointed out the potential for the fund industry in Luxembourg to achieve €160 million cost savings linked to KYC handling and due diligence. So what can we do to make this process more efficient for each player in the market? How can we reduce risk and regulatory pressure while saving time and money? Imagine this: a digital repository containing all customer documents and data required by the different KYC processes. All of them, but just once. A shared KYC infrastructure centralizing the supply and the demand for information and the identity management. Let's take the customer point of view. It would allow them to supply all documents only once and to decide explicitly who would be allowed to retrieve them. Whenever they decide to work with a new financial institution, they will just provide consent to grant access to their profile. Their information is secure and new business relationships can be operational very swiftly. Now, what about the financial institution's point of view? It is clear that they don't have to spend time anymore in gathering all the credentials that they require. Once the customer gives his go, they get immediate access to his documents and data. But they get much more than this. Thanks to a risk-based approach and a continuous real-time process of due diligence, all the customer data are validated, regularly updated and cross-checked with outside data sources. After inspection of the provided data and documents, dedicated risk scoring indicators can be accepted or bypassed and validated otherwise. The advantages of a central, mutualized KYC infrastructure for all professionals of the finance market are obvious. Ease the data gathering process, provide the customers with a better experience, reduce costs, improve time to market to onboard new business relationships, be able to adapt quickly to evolving compliance rules and regulations, improve due diligence efficiency and reduce operational risks. So let's improve our KYC process and let's move the customer back to center stage.